Navy will be stepping up efforts to integrate and prepare weapon systems for its advanced Ford aircraft carrier during a now underway 12-month deployment preparation period called Post-Shakedown Availability, SAR, one of several key final steps designed to prepare the ship for ocean warfare. While the Ford's electromagnetic catapult, larger deck space and nuclear power technology are heavily emphasized in public discussion of the ship's newer technologies, layered ship defenses are commanding commensurate developmental attention, given the global threat environment. This includes efforts to build in the latest interceptor missiles and close-range guns, such as the evolved Sea Sparrow Block II, ESSM, and the Phalanx close weapon system. Therefore, alongside the more emphasized items for the SA, such as the Advanced Weapons Elevator and Advanced Arresting Gear upgrades, preparing ship defenses for deployment will also function as an indispensable element of the Navy's strategy for the Ford class. The scheduled 12 months OSRA will install remaining combat systems, complete deferred work and correct remaining discrepancies identified during sea trials and shakedown, William Couch, Naval Sea Systems Command spokesman told Warrior Maven. The SA is intended to build upon lessons learned and adjustments emerging from previous testing. The ship's crew has been conducting post-delivery testing and trial operations that identify construction and design issues. They have been extremely effective in identifying any issues early, which helps us address them prior to returning to the fleet, Rear ADM Brian Antonio, Program Executive Officer for Aircraft Carriers, said in a published Navy statement. During testing and developmental phases immediately preceding the start of the SA, the Ford successfully completed fixed-wing and rotary-wing aircraft integration and compatibility testing, Air Traffic Control Center certification and JP5 fuel system certification, Couch added in the statement. Demonstrating the ship's defensive systems was also a vital element of these preparations for the SA. While carriers often travel in carrier strike groups, protected by cruisers and destroyers, the platforms are increasingly being viewed as ships in need of their own organic defensive weapons. This is particularly true in light of the often discussed threats of Chinese DF-21D carrier killer, a long-range anti-ship guided missile reported to reach ranges greater than 900 miles. There is much discussion about how the USS Ford's massively increased onboard power technology, driven by 4 26-megawatt generators, will potentially enable emerging weapons, such as defensive lasers and railguns. In the near term, however, the USS Ford will use the SA to solidify integration of several upgraded ship defense weapons. Besides carrying over 75 warplanes, the USS Ford has some serious destructive capability. Engineers and designers included ESSM, Evolved Sea Sparrow Missile, RAM, Rolling Airframe Missile, and Mk-15 Phalanx missiles. The USS Ford is expected to deploy with the Evolved Sea Sparrow Missile Block II, or ESSM, a weapon designed to track and destroy incoming enemy supersonic missiles and anti-ship missiles, among other threats. The ESSM Block II is engineered with what's called an active guidance system, meaning the missile itself can achieve improved flight or guidance to its target by both receiving and actively sending electromagnetic signals, Navy and industry ESSM developers told Warrior Maven in previous interviews. The current ESSM missiles use what's called a semi-active guidance system, meaning the missile itself can receive electromagnetic signals bounced off the target by an illuminator. The ESSM Block II's active guidance includes illuminator technology built onto the missile itself such that it can both receive and send important electromagnetic signals, Navy and Raytheon officials explained. A shipboard illuminator is an RF signal that bounces off a target. The antenna in the nose in the guidance section of the missile sees the reflected energy and then corrects to intercept the reflective energy, the Raytheon officials told Warrior. The emerging missile has an active front end, meaning it can send an electromagnetic signal forward to track a maneuvering target, at times without needing a ship illuminator for guidance. Also, the missile is able to intercept threats that are close to the surface by sea skimming or diving in onto a target from a higher altitude, Navy officials explained. The Phalanx Close-in Weapon System, or CIWS, is an area weapon engineered to use a high rate of fire and ammunition to blanket a given area, destroying or knocking enemy fire out of the sky before it can reach a ship. The Phalanx CIWS, which can fire up to 4,500 rounds per minute, has been protecting ship platforms for decades. CWIS furs a 20mm Vulcan cannon mounted on a swiveling base. An essay in Naval Forces magazine called CIWS, The Last-Ditch Defense, further specifics that the weapon fires armor-piercing tungsten penetrator rounds with discarding sabos. CIWS fires a M61A1 Gatling gun out to ranges of 3 kilometers. CIWS uses Ku-band radar featuring closed-loop spotting technology capable of autonomously performing its own search, detect, evaluation, track, engage and kill assessment functions, the Naval Forces essay writes. The Baseline 2 radar also provides the Phalanx CIWS with surface mode, meaning it adds the ability to track, detect and then destroy threats closer to the surface of the water compared with previous models of the weapon, developers explained.